Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, Jordan. In every country, the head of state yields a demonstrative effect. China is no exception. After taking office, President Xi Jinping has given many constructive speeches on nation building, social progress, and the improvement of people's livelihood. Now, let's talk about some of his most popular views and their influence on Chinese culture. Talking about anti-corruption, he famously said, "Crack down on the tigers at the top and the flies at the bottom." Do you know where I am? Médoc in France? No. Napa Valley in California? Guess again. I'm in the cellar of a Chinese millionaire with a bottle of French Lafite in my hand. Or at least, that's what the label says. Shall we have a taste? I've never tasted wine quite like this before. Could it be that this wine was made especially for the Chinese people? Did you know that China is the world's largest consumer of red wine? In 2013, China consumed a whopping 2 billion bottles. Surprising, isn't it? Does France even produce that much red wine? However, in 2014, China consumed only 1.8 billion bottles. That's a reduction of nearly 200 million bottles in just 1 year. So then, what's been stopping all those crazed Chinese shoppers from buying red wine? Perhaps one reason is China's anti-corruption campaign. You see, the Chinese love red wine not just for its taste, but also for its value. Recently, a Lafite, bottled in 1982, was sold for $5,500 in China. Owning a fine bottle of red wine has become a status symbol among the Chinese, and for a long time, it was the stepping stone to corruption. While discussing business matters, the Chinese like to express emotions with gifts and drinks in order to reinforce trust and cooperation. The two conventions have been an odd scene in China for more than 30 years. A familiar Chinese saying goes, "Policy loosens with the raised wine glass." As a foreigner, I have no idea how many deals have been made over drinks in China. Nor do I know exactly how many times an expensive bottle of wine has helped to settle a secret deal under the table. But trust me, the practice has enraged the China led by Xi Jinping. The reduction of red wine sales in China is due in part to the 8-point code of the CPC implemented in 2013. Aiming to encourage frugality and integrity, this code laid out strict standards for the ideological requirements, lifestyle, and treatment of the CPC members, and even specific requirements about their writing style. Such strict regulations have not been seen in modern China since the country's founding in 1949. President Xi has ordered ordered to apply rigorous and fundamental measures to crack down on corruption. In the house of one convicted senior military officer were found nearly 1,000 cases of Maotao, a famous brand of Chinese liquor. Just one of those bottles sells for about $200. Many Chinese people can't even afford a sip of it during their lifetime. So it seems that in the past, some Chinese senior officials took drinking the finest liquors for granted. However, the latest news is that Maotai merchants have suffered a severe drop in sales volume, and some stores don't even sell one bottle of Maotai during the holidays. Now, government officials are prohibited from drinking alcohol during a workday. For example, a man in charge of a state-owned Chinese enterprise once ordered a bottle of expensive red wine during lunchtime. Afterward, he was promptly removed from his post. To the Chinese red wine importers, all of this is a string of bad news. But for the ordinary Chinese people, it is undoubtedly a good thing. President Xi's anti-corruption campaign has therefore become popular among the Chinese people, and he has quickly won their trust and support. In the past 2 years, China has investigated and punished a top state leader. According to administrative rankings, he had the same official ranking as Xi Jinping. Meanwhile, 5 top leaders and 91 ministerial government officials have also been investigated and punished. These officials were all senior cadres in the Chinese government. And they were, as Xi Jinping called, the tigers in his campaign to crack down on the tigers at the top and the flies at the bottom. A general survey of global anti-corruption campaigns shows that China has undoubtedly devoted the utmost efforts. What's worth mentioning is that it was the CPC itself that initiated such a large anti-corruption campaign, instead of the opposition parties as in the West. This functions as a sample for the operation of world politics and governmental rights, cracking down on the tigers at the top and the flies in the bottom. What will happen next? Let's wait as new stories unfold.